Sean Patterson here for Vessi Seeds. I'm joined today again by Angus Mellish, seed manager here. Now Angus, this is my first year starting a veggie garden, and I have to admit I really have no idea what to buy, what's going to be more difficult, and what's going to be really sort of a manageable amount of products.
Well, Sean, I'm glad you asked this question. We get lots of calls from home gardeners, wondering, how do I start out? What's the right places? What should I be growing? And we do have a few recommendations for new gardeners as to things that they really should be trying and some things that they should be avoiding.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess one of the main things that I always encourage home gardeners is, if it's their first shot at a vegetable garden, is to start small.
Oh, okay.
I know how great those catalogs look, and as you're flipping through, it's easy to add on things, and we love this, I'd love to try that, and all of a sudden you've got a lot of stuff, and you go out and you put it in a big garden, and it's easy to be overwhelmed, especially if you're a first gardener and trying to figure out the timing of what needs to be done when. Like, I have a really big home garden, but I didn't start out that way. I started with a small one and sort of added to it every year, a little more of this, a little more of that, and it's manageable that way. So for a home gardener, I really encourage you to start small. You're better off to start with a small garden, and be at the end of the summer, geez, I wish I had planted more, than to start out really big and be at the end of the summer say, I'm never going to plant another vegetable garden again.
Well, that sounds great. Manageable in size. Now, I've got my small manageable garden. Now, what are some of the products that maybe I should try?
Sure. Well, there's two ways that you should go about deciding what you're going to grow in your garden your first year.
Okay.
The first thing is you should focus on the vegetables that you really like. You're much more likely to be excited about, if you grow 5 or 6 vegetables of things that you really like and your family really likes, they're much more likely to pay attention to it and get the attention that it needs and be successful. So that's one thing. But then there's certain areas that are certainly some vegetables that are easier to grow than others. What I would consider the most common easy vegetables would be carrots, cucumbers, beets, lettuce is a really great one to start with, beans, super easy, Swiss chard, tomatoes. Everybody should have a couple of tomato plants in their garden. And we have a list on our website of 10 really easy vegetables to start with, so that's a good place to have a look at.
Excellent. Well, as everyone knows, I'm a huge fan of lettuce and eating salads, so that's definitely going to be something that I'm going to add to my veggie garden this year. Now, just one last question, Angus. When I'm putting together my garden, what are some other considerations that I should be thinking about?
Well, I really encourage you to spend a little time and make sure the soil is right in your garden. It's a good long-term investment. You want to make sure it's good to do a soil test, whether you take the test and use like our soil test kit and do it yourself, or send it to your local Department of Agriculture to get them to test it for you. Lime the soil, make sure the pH is between 6 and 7, and add lots of organic matter. If you can, especially in the first couple of years, the investment you make in building that garden soil is really going to pay off long term. Excellent.
Well, I've learned a lot today, and I think I'm ready to go with my first veggie garden ever. Thanks to Angus Mellish for joining us again. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and see you next time.